I'd never dreamed of having this amount of money from just my hobby. Right now, we don't have any sponsors, so we have to prove them that we can achieve many more in the future. That's the tough part. When you think that you deserve something and you can't win everything.
Welcome to the Fabled Academy. Today I'm talking to our 2023 World Champion in Flesh and Blood, Alex from Greece. Alex, welcome to the show.
Hello guys, I'm Alex. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, it's a real pleasure now to talk to you after a couple of months that we saw each other in Barcelona and that you have won the World Championship of 2023.
Yeah, it's been a couple of months since then. I'm really glad that I'm here right now. We talked about it several times, but I was quite busy. But here I am.
Yeah, I think myself and all the viewers are really stoked to hear your thoughts now. And you also did an interview on Push the Point, right?
Yeah. I made an interview with Hamis, yeah.
Yeah, so I will link that interview down in the description, so everyone that haven't seen it already can check it out. And tell us, what happened in the meantime from Barcelona until now.
As I said before, I was quite busy. I had many things to do with my personal life. I was quite busy with my job, let's say. I was quite busy also in the university. That was a tough period, let's say.
So give us a little bit more context. What kind of person are you? What kind of job are you working and what are you doing in university?
Yeah, the job that I'm working right now is just a job as a sales assistant. Okay, and in the university, I study applied statistics.
So winning the World Championship title for sure will help you also being a student financially, but is an amazing event all in all. So how really changed your life after you won the World Championship title in Flesh and Blood?
It didn't quite affect me, let's say, in my personal status, but this amount of money for the most Europeans is quite, let's say, life-changing. Right now, I'd never dreamed of having this amount of money from just my hobby. I mean, and that's the case right now. I made some decisions. I moved to another house, let's say, and because the previous owner, let's say, left the house, I had many things to do. I had to do a total renovation. Yeah. And I was also doing the renovation in the meantime. And that was pretty tough for me. That's the only thing that I did with some of my some amount of my prizing money. I do believe that in the future I will do some investments.
So, but before you could do those investments, you had to get the check to your hometown, right? That was a struggle.
Yeah, it was totally a struggle. I mean, the next day after the event, we had many things to do. We went with a couple of friends of mine in the local post office, and we had to. It was just wrapped, let's say, but we had to put many cartons in order to send it to my hometown. So we had to go to another store and prepare it ourselves, and then cut some things, stick them together, and send these packets to Greece. Yeah, that that was hilarious.
But it arrived safely in the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. It arrived.
Nice. So one challenge after the other, and when you came home, you started your plans on renovating. Is the renovation over now, or do you still have work to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's over. It's almost over. No, it's not over. I have to put some final touches. Let's say the painter has to paint a couple of doors and one wardrobe, and that's it. Yeah, I'm in the house.
And you spoke about investments that you want to do. What kind of investments is the world champion in Flesh and Blood doing to preserve his money?
Right now, I haven't really decided yet, so I don't know. In the meantime, I will find my what's the best for me, but right now, I haven't decided.
Yeah. And will you also travel the world for Flesh and Blood?
Yeah, of
again
course.
in the future?
Of course, I'm a contender. Yeah, I tend to play more games. Yeah, I'm a grinder, let's say. So I do like the competitive aspect of Flesh and Blood. I want to travel the world and to see new people, make friends, and play the game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the spirit that a lot of players in the Flesh and Blood community are looking for. Playing the game, seeing the world is quite expensive, but you have the money now to do it. And you also have friends that you play Flesh and Blood with, right? You are on a team.
Shout out to our team, which is FaB Chaos. Yeah, that's our team. Yeah, it's a new team, and we want to make some other wins as well. Yeah, we have our goal, let's say, is to win many more major events.
So how is your team going with the prize money? I talked to a lot of the pro teams already, and every team has different solutions to it. How does FaB Chaos tackle the prize money thing in Flesh and Blood?
So let's say we are a new team. So right now we don't have any sponsors. I mean, we've contacted with some guys in order to get some sponsorships. But since we didn't have that many socials, let's say the companies didn't want to sponsor us because we had so few people on our socials. So we have to prove them that we can achieve many more in the future. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, I interrupted you. I didn't want to say something else.
Okay, I just wanted to say that I hope that your social presence can grow. And I think that you are going out and doing interviews is a really statement of that. You want to go outside and be seen and talk to the people. So we will also link down the accounts of FaB Chaos in the description for anyone who wants to check them out.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
So you are from Greece and you also have a competitive team that you are on. But how really did Flesh and Blood spark your passion? Why do you like Flesh and Blood so much?
So, the first thing that I noticed and I really liked about Flesh and Blood was the resource system, let's say. It has a very unique resource system that you can either pitch or play the card. Yeah, and that's totally different from all other TCGs. I mean, in the other TCGs, you have just some type of cards that are used for resources. That's not the case with Flesh and Blood. And that's really unique. I mean, when I firstly saw those cards, I was puzzled. I said, okay, but where are the manas in order to play? And he said me that those cards that you can attack, you can also use them as resources. And the other thing that I really like about Flesh and Blood is that the final outcome, let's say, it's based on who makes most of the times it's based on who makes the fewer mistakes. I mean, and micro decisions that you have in your game are crucial for the final outcome. Yeah, and you don't have that many snowball effects that you have in other card games that you can do, yet that you are unable to do pretty much anything. Yeah, that's a bit fascinating with Flesh and Blood, that you do make mistakes and you are punished for that.
So the learning curve is something to consider in Flesh and Blood for sure. It is a really unique game, like you described, but how is it actually that you could grow to the competitive player that you are now? Because some regions don't even have a local active competitive scene yet. Like you said, you have friends that are also competitive, but how did you grow as a competitive player?
I mean, it's the grinding process, as I said before. You have to go. When I first started Flesh and Blood, we didn't have an online platform, let's say, to test and giving reps with our decks. We had to go to our local gaming stores and play for the tournament, let's say. So our only chance to let's say evolve as players was to playing in the casual armories on a weekly basis. Yeah, we had a couple of armories in between the week, so I played as many as I could. Yeah, that's the only way in order to succeed. You have to play and give feedback with your teammates, with your opponents that you feel that they are good enough to give you advices. Yeah, and ask them how was your play, let's say, what could you do different, that type of stuff.
So you mentioned the local game store and also the weekly armories that you are attending. There are some changes now to the system that these armories are running on with the ELO system. What do you think about that and the competitive impacts that it has?
Yeah, I mean, it has a huge competitive impact. I mean, there's no invites right now from XP. Sorry. The only invites that you have are from winning a Pro Tour Pro Quest event or Road to Nationals from next season. I mean, I'm not really fan of this type of decisions. I do believe that you want some people to take let's say some points from their armories and compete in the next nationals. But also, this is quite a struggle for the newer players in order to just play in their local armories. I mean, even if anyone is, let's say, is a try harder that goes to an event and tries only to win it, and you have guys that travel many kilometers in order to just achieve their goal. Many of the casual players feel that they don't evolve, let's say, in the game. Yeah, and that's a bit unfortunate for them. Yeah, so I can't see the point of the company that made this type of decisions. Yeah. I'm not really a fan of this, but I can't see the point.
So, do you have something in mind to maybe tackle this in the future to make competitive players more happy again on the Armory level?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I didn't ask you. I
Yes,
didn't
sure.
hear you, sorry.
Yeah. So it is, you have to consider both sides when coming to the Armory. The casual players that want to learn the game, that want to have fun and not really care about winning, or maybe are not tryharding as much as the competitive players who want to gain experience to compete at the Pro Tour level, at the World Championship, at Callings, Nationals, and so on. So how would you like to see the Armory level change so competitive players like yourself can enjoy the system more?
No, I mean, I do enjoy our local armories even now. I tend to go to armories just for fun. I'm playing Das.io and I'm having the best flesh and blood of my life right now. But let's say, in order to give some of the pro players something to have in order to compete in the national season, I would go with more invites, let's say, from the Road to Nationals events. I would probably give in the whole top 8, let's say, invites for the nationals, or even if only the top 4 gets the invite, the players that already had invites, I would go with the pass down thing. So when a player has already an invite, probably the invite goes to whoever is down of the top 4, let's say, to the 5th one, to the 6th one. Yeah, that's my recommendations, let's say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can imagine that working when being a new player and wanting to gain more experience to play, let's say, in the nationals. But I think you mentioned one really interesting part about playing at the local Armory now, and that is like not only trying to play one specific hero to get good on, but maybe even trying out more casual strategies and also playing more casual heroes. Not to say that everybody views Dash.io as a casual hero, but like you said, you're playing her now, and I think that's a really good and key point to take away here for other competitive players who are maybe struggling with viewing the new system for Armories.
Yeah, I mean, when I do feel that I am, let's say, burst down, I don't know exactly the phrase. Whenever I had many games with my main hero, let's say, or I do feel that I'm full of how can I say it? Never mind. Let's say when I do have many reps with a hero and I'm stressed, I tend to go to Armories just for fun and play something new, something that I want just to try out and have fun with my friends. Yeah, that's a very good tactic in order to enjoy the game.
All right. So I think the question with the armories leads into a question that a lot of competitive players are asking themselves, and that is, how can I become a master of Flesh and Blood and exceed to the top levels of these tier 3, T4 tournaments, just like you did, playing the game when Tales of Aria came out, all the way to Barcelona in 2023, becoming the world champion. So what would you say to those competitive players that want to really become a master in the craft of Flesh and Blood?
Well, let's say I have two advices. The first one is probably to compete in both formats, let's say, of the competitive Flesh and Blood, which is both constructed and limited, which is most likely draft. So you have, in order to achieve many things and become, let's say, a Pro Tour champion, you have or world champion, you have to be both good in constructed and drafts. So even if your local armories have only constructed, let's say, tournaments, you have to find a way to play some drafts as well. Yeah. Or otherwise, let's say, if you have only drafts, you have to play some good constructed games in your spare time. That was my first advice, and the other one is to, let's say, to give feedback and to take feedback from other players that you feel that are on the same level as you or even better than you. That's a very key factor in order to achieve many things. You have to communicate what did you do in some of the matchups that you have played, and what can you do better. You have also to let's say, to analyze their tactics, to communicate, let's say, some key things of the game, and make a good plan in order to prepare for this type of events.
So when preparing for these big events, what are you actually doing to prepare?
I mean, I test with quite a lot of people. I tend to play, most of the time I tend to play aggro or combos type of stuff. And then I have to go with my fatigue guys, let's say, and find a way in order to win those type of matchups. When I am in doubt of a hero that is good but probably not that good in a late game plan, I take a buddy. I take Yorgos, let's say, who is our main Guardian player, and I say to him, okay, just build a fatigue Bravo, and let's say how the things goes. Yeah, that's how, let's say, prepare for this type of events. I discuss with my friends. We tend to play a lot of drafts together in order to have a conclusion, let's say, a good brief of what to pick, why do we pick this over some other stuff, what's our first choice, let's say, what do we pick first, those type of stuff. But that's teamwork. You can't do this only on yourself, I mean, because you can make many mistakes and you can't really see those mistakes if you're alone. if you play on Talisar, you can't see your mistakes.
And are you drafting mostly in person with your friends, or how are you tackling the draft portion of Flesh and Blood?
Sorry, what do you say? If I am...
So, what is your strategy for drafting? Are you meeting with your friends and you are drafting in person?
Yeah, as a team, we spend a lot of time together, and we had many drafts, let's say, together. So, on our first drafts, we have a strategy of our own. But after the drafts, we discuss our plans and what went good or bad, what was our good or bad decisions, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we talk we talk about drafts even after the draft section.
All right, and you already said you are a big combo player. You like the combo side of trading card games and especially Flesh and Blood. So when it comes to the new meta now, including the new set Heavy Hitters, will you again play FaB, or are you looking at a new hero to lay new combos with?
So yeah, right now I don't really know, but I do believe that in the Road to Nationals season, I want to bring a Katsu, probably. Yeah, that's what I want. And right now I'm testing with Kaio. So yeah, FaB is always my comfort pick. So when in doubt, I play FaB. But yeah, I mean, I want to try those two heroes. I do believe that in some of the RTNs, of my next RTNs, I'm gonna play Katsu.
Very interesting. And is Katsu a hero that you already have experience on, or will it be totally new for you?
It's not totally new. I've had a couple of games with Katsu. I don't know the exact number. Yeah. I brought him in a couple of armories. But no, in a big event I haven't tested Katsu. Yeah, but
Nice.
I do believe that he has good potential in the next meta game.
Mm-hmm. And in Heavy Hitters there was also a new card for Katsu. Is that card interesting to include in a deck list now, in your view?
I mean, the card that gives +1. The Ninja card, you mean, that gives to all combo cards +1?
So the new Ninja card is named Ancestral Harmony, and it's a blue pitch 0 cost that blocks for 3. And like you said, it's a card that gives +1 to all your attacks with combo this turn. And also you are banishing the top card of your deck, and if that card has combo, then you can play it in that turn.
Yeah, I mean, this card has some great potential, but let's say you have to build one deck that goes around this card. It's more like you can't just take this card and put it in one deck. Right now, the Katsu decks that are mostly played have half of their deck that is not non-combo. So 50% of the time this card is a whiff, let's say. So as it is, I don't think that you can include it. If you build a deck that goes around this card, then this card is pretty powerful. yeah, I haven't really tested this card.
So now that we talked about what is coming next, in this year we also have very big tournaments like 2 Pro Tours and another World Championship. You told us already that you are a really competitive player. You say for yourself that you are a grinder. And I know that it is not always easy to come ahead and win all your games like you did in the top 8 of the World Championship in last year. You didn't even manage to get top 8 in the last national championship, right?
Yeah. I came 9th, yeah.
So how do you tackle when you are not always winning to make it better the next time and try even harder to get to the top?
Yeah, I mean, that's the tough part. When you think that you deserve something and you can't win everything, after losing and that big of a tournament, you're pretty much devastated. So I had a really rough week after the nationals. I was quite angry with myself, let's say. Yeah, I had my it was a difficult period of my life. But then again, after that period, you have to strike back. You have to give all yourself, and you have to motivate you in order to win something. Yeah, you have to strike back on the next event. Yeah, okay. It didn't well that good, let's say. But yeah, you have another chance, and you can always win the next event, let's say.
So when you are talking about motivation and coming back from a loss, what really motivates you in those moments?
I mean, for me personally, just having a good time with friends, let's say. Some things that you can't really do when you are in the grinding season, as I said, when you do not have that many of a spare time, and you wanna play, let's say, a lot of Flesh and Blood games. Don't have that much of a spare time for yourself. Gathering with friends, let's say, go out for a beer or something. Yeah, that's what suits for me. Yeah, and keep talking for other things that do not include Flesh and Blood in the conversation.
Yeah, that is especially hard for those players who are loving to get their toes into Flesh and Blood and competing on a daily basis. So the next Pro Tour and the next World Championship will come. You told us already that you and your team, you are having goals for those tournaments. But what kind of countries do you want to see in this year now that this competitive year is just starting?
Do you mean from the countries that already compete in Flesh and Blood? What do I believe that, or who do I believe that is gonna win something?
So I want to hear your opinion not only on which countries do you think will rise to the top in this year, but also which countries you want to travel to and play Flesh and Blood.
Oh, let's say my honest dream would be to have, let's say, Worlds in Japan. Yeah, that would be one in a lifetime travel. Yeah, and I think Japan would be a lovely destination, let's say, for most of the Flesh and Blood players. Which countries I do believe that will be competitive on the upcoming events? I mean, it's obvious that USA and Canada, let's say, would have the most candidates, were the most competitive pro players. From Europe, I would pick probably Poland, Spain, and obviously Greece. Yeah. Then from Asia, I don't know. The guys from Hong Kong did pretty well on the Worlds. I mean, they had astonishing performance. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, those are the countries probably.
So we are talking about a lot on the competitive side on Flesh and Blood, and you as the world champion, you are crowned as the best player of the last competitive year in Flesh and Blood. But do you think you are the best Flesh and Blood player in the world at the moment with this title, or do you view yourself as the player that you were before you won the title?
Yeah, I don't believe that I'm the best Flesh and Blood player. I mean, I do see myself as the guy who went to Worlds in order to win something. I don't know, to win something because he was shirted from national season. Yeah, I had something to prove, and that's it. I don't believe that I'm the best Flesh and Blood player in the world. I do believe that I am quite good though. Yeah.
All right. So when we are coming to the end of the interview soon and people still want to reach out to you and talk to you about Flesh and Blood, where is the best place to talk to you?
I mean, I'm open in any event, in any competitive event that you can chat with me. You can, or even on socials. Even if you have some questions for your list. I mean, for anything, no, not something in particular. Yeah, you can just chat with me. I don't have any hesitation in order to answer back. That's it.
All right, amazing. I am really honored that we had the time today together to talk about your experience, you as a person, but also you as a player in the Flesh and Blood community. And I really wish you the best of luck and best of fun now with the Heavy Hitters pre-release coming up.
Yeah.
That, like you said, before the interview you will play in, but I will also play in it tomorrow and on Sunday. So I'm really stoked too for this new set. And I really hope to see you again in the future on events. I will be at the Pro Tour in Amsterdam, so I assume we will see us in person there.
For sure.
And yeah, maybe chat online again and see us again in a video.
Yeah, thanks for having me here once again. It was a great conversation, and yeah, I would really like to see you in person as well in Amsterdam.
So before we end the video, do you want to give any shout-outs?
Yeah, of course. I want to give a shout-out, of course, to my Flesh and Blood team, which is FaB Chaos. Yeah. We promise that we're gonna win something again. Yeah. That's our main goal. And also, I would like to give a shout-out to my homies, to my guys that we played Flesh and Blood from the beginning. So shout out to Bloody Fleshers.
All right. So to all the viewers who are still on, thank you so much for tuning in. Like the video if you found it helpful. Leave a comment for Alex and leave some love on the video, and check out the description if you want to see more.